You smell.
You're listening to the Davis Sports Feud.
What is happening? Davis is cooking, bruh.
Online podcast.
What is going on, guys? Kyle Davis, and we are on YouTube right now. Generally, I shoot most of my content on Facebook and YouTube. I'm trying to get a little more content over here on YouTube. But I am commissioner of an NFL fantasy league with T-Bone and Wonky and a bunch of other guys that you've seen over the time. You've seen Chris in the comments. You've seen Cisco in the comments. You've seen Weber on the podcast. You've seen a lot of these guys around. So you'll recognize the names. But right now, I'm just kind of setting up our draft by using a wheel. I'm going to bring it on in a second here. Let's see if I can get this to work. There we go. There's our wheel. As you can see on the right side, Ryan won our losers bracket last year, so he got to take first crack at our pick. He took 11th, and our winner of the league got the second draft pick, and that was Vince. He decided to take number 1 overall. I'm assuming Christian McCaffrey will come off the board, but there's a lot of moving pieces that could be happening in these drafts. I've seen some real interesting moves. I've seen a lot of interesting moves. I've seen quarterbacks go as high as number 3. I've seen tight ends come off the board real early. It's very interesting to see where some of these rookie quarterbacks are going to go. I think a lot of them are going to have good years. I also think that a lot of them are not going to have great fantasy years until like Justin Fields gets into the swing. You're going to see no rookie quarterbacks going as their first quarterback overall. It's going to be real interesting. But for now, I'm just here to set our lineup for the draft order for tonight. We're going to be doing it at 7. I might do it live, just kind of do like different picks and talk about it with you guys. Maybe a couple guys will come on and join me and chit chat, argue, yell at each other because they stole your pick or stole my pick. But basically, this is just to set our lineup and have proof to everyone in my league that we are doing it. Without further ado, I suppose I'm just going to send something out real quick because I'd like to see if anybody wants to join me. But this season, even college football has been very interesting this week. There's been a lot of moving around different with basketball. There was free agency that didn't really talk about. We just finished up all of our division previews, and we've been doing all that, and it's been super fun to do all those. It's a little difficult because I'm not as privy on like doing previews like that, but we're going to be talking about different things on the next episode, which if you saw my update on Facebook or on YouTube, I put it on both of them, that we are no longer recording at Stenny's. We're live. We're going to be recording at Thirsties on this Thursday, September 9th at 6 o'clock. Guys, show up a little early. We're going to be taking your quick questions and your comments and hot takes on the air live. And we're also going to be doing a promotion, which is still a promo. I don't know why I'm backtracking. We're still doing our trivia questions where we're going to ask you a sports history question or just a sports question in general, or maybe a question about our podcast, because I know there's a lot of people that are going to be coming out that have already been checking out our podcast. If you answer the question correct, you will get a free drink, a free shot, or a free beer. Very simple. Just pop up, give us your hot take or question, and then we ask you a question, and you end up getting free stuff. But for now, I'm going to talk less, and I'm going to start setting our draft order if you guys want to sit with me. So the second pick is going to be Zach Weber. Good luck, Zach. I'm sure you'll have Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara, Aaron Jones sitting there. There'll be a lot of good picks there. Well, it'll be interesting to see where everybody takes everybody because, I mean, it's definitely a different year. That's for sure. There's no like clear cut number 1, although a lot of people are choosing Christian McCaffrey number 1. As my wheel continues, Chris Zolka is our 3rd overall pick in this, and it's also a snake draft, so your first overall pick will then go to the bottom of the rotation. So Vince taking one in Christian McCaffrey, I presume, and he would be the 20th pick. and then the 21st pick. So, I mean, snake style draft, it's pretty standard for most leagues. You're going to hear me, T-Bone, and Tyler talk a lot about like our fantasy drafts and our fantasy leagues and stuff because all three of us are in it. As you can see, T-Bone, myself, and Tyler are still all on the board, along with one of my good friends, Jake, Cisco, Andy, and Derek, and Peter to round it out. We're going to see who's going to be coming up with the next pick. We are rolling. We got... Let's see. And we got Tyler. Tyler's coming up. Tyler Wonke's coming up with the 4th pick. You're still looking at, like, I've seen people start taking quarterbacks at this spot, maybe like a Travis Kelce, but most likely you're going to be seeing another running back come off the board. I think running backs are going to be a hard commodity to come by. So moving on to the next pick, we got Peter. Peter's moving into the 5th pick. So we'll see how that goes as well. Like I said, when this first round is going to be mostly running backs, you might see a Patrick Mahomes, or we have a lot of people from Wisconsin here. You could see a homer pick with Aaron Rodgers or something of that manner. It's, again, fantasy football is very interesting, especially with the different people that you have. As my next pick comes off the board, would be my favorite personal spot. Jake Pipke gets the 6th spot, which means he gets to pick the middle of the round every single pick. It's the same spot every single time. It'll be a good spot for you. I personally like 6th most because I don't like back-to-back picks and then this massive gap, because then you have to plan a little differently. You can plan pretty well for the middle of the draft. As we're on to the 7th pick, and we got Andy moving into that spot. I believe he is last year's runner-up in our league. We had Vince winning the whole damn thing last year, coming as a little bit of a surprise because he kind of snuck into the playoffs and then just made a run. And that's what makes fantasy football so interesting, is that you don't know what you're going to get. You could have a god-awful season, sneak into the playoffs, win the whole thing. You could be the most dominant team in your fantasy league and then end up losing in the first round of the playoffs. So moving on to the 8th pick, we have Cisco. Cisco's moving on. You've seen him a couple times on our live streams when I've done it at Thirsties before. A lot of guy with good knowledge, but, I mean, unfortunately, he's got bad taste in college football teams, but that's beside the point. Moving on to the 9th pick. Looks like I have the 9th pick. I'm totally fine with that. That's towards the end of the draft. I could still get a good running back, maybe a stud quarterback if I'm feeling a little frisky, or there'll be a lot of wide receivers sitting on the board there too. So moving on to the 10th pick, we have Derek and T-Bone left. Seeing who's going to be getting the 10th pick is Derek, which moves T-Bone into our final spot at, I'm going to spin the wheel just for shits and giggles. Oh, it didn't do it. And T-Bone is our final pick of the draft. I'm excited for this. Guys, I might be going live on here at 7 o'clock tonight for our fantasy draft. Maybe I'll get a couple guys to join us. Otherwise, I'll talk to you guys soon. For the Davis Sports Dude, I'm Kyle Davis. Hey, stay tuned because you're going to get a lot of content.
Do you smell?
You're listening to the Davis Sports Feud.
What is happening?
Davis is cooking,
Bruh. Online podcast.